A police officer walks up to your window during a routine traffic stop. He already knows where you were last night. He knows how fast you drove 2 hours ago. He knows your car doors unlocked at 11:42 p.m. And before he even asks for your license, your vehicle has already transmitted data through its onboard system. Then the officer says something that catches most drivers off guard. "Sir, your vehicle's telematics show unusual movement patterns. Step out of the car for me." What do? Can police really access that information? Can your car actually track your movements? And can law enforcement remotely disable or even control certain features of your vehicle? Most people think modern cars are just vehicles, but today's cars are rolling computers, and many drivers have no idea how much information their vehicle collects every single day. If knowing your rights matters to you, subscribe now. Share this with someone who needs it and drop your opinion below. One mistake during a traffic stop can open the door to far more data than people realize, because once you voluntarily consent or start casually explaining yourself, you may be giving officers access to information that goes far beyond what is happening on the roadside. In this video, I'm breaking down the new car technology that can collect and share your personal data, what law enforcement may legally access under certain circumstances, the mistakes drivers make during these encounters, and the exact phrases you can use to protect your privacy while still remaining calm and lawful. And no, this is not science fiction anymore. Modern vehicles now collect location history, braking habits, acceleration data, voice commands, phone contacts, text logs through Bluetooth syncing, facial recognition in some models, driver attention monitoring, and even cabin recordings in certain systems. Some manufacturers openly state in their privacy policies that data may be shared with affiliates, service providers, insurance companies, or government agencies when legally requested. That's the first thing people miss. Your car is not just mechanical anymore. It is connected. Now, let's break this down carefully. The first mistake people make is assuming that because they own the car, they fully control the data. That is not always true. Many newer vehicles come with telematic systems. Think systems like emergency response features, remote diagnostics, GPS-connected apps, subscription driving services, or smartphone integration platforms. These systems constantly generate data. During investigations, police may seek access to that information through subpoenas, warrants, court orders, or sometimes through emergency disclosure requests, depending on the circumstances. And here is where people get themselves in trouble. The officer starts fishing for consent. Mind if we take a quick look through the vehicle systems? Can you unlock the infotainment screen for us? Can you show us your trip history? A lot of people panic and start cooperating voluntarily because they think refusing automatically makes them look guilty. But legally, consent changes everything. A calm response matters. "Officer, I do not consent to any searches of my vehicle or digital systems." That sentence is powerful for a reason. Notice what it does not say. It does not insult the officer. It does not physically resist. It does not interfere. It simply makes clear that you are not voluntarily waiving your rights. And that matters because courts often look at whether consent was freely given. Now, if police have a lawful warrant, different rules may apply. If there are emergency circumstances, laws may also vary. But you never want to hand over extra access voluntarily without understanding the consequences. The second mistake people make is oversharing during roadside questioning. Here's how this usually sounds. "Where are you coming from tonight?" Most people think that is harmless small talk, but imagine your car already logged location history through navigation systems, toll data, connected apps, or onboard telemetry. Officers may already have partial information. The question may be designed to compare your answer against digital records later. So what should you do? Stay calm, stay polite, keep answers minimal. "Officer, I do not consent to any searches of my vehicle or digital systems." That phrase works because it clearly invokes your constitutional protections without escalating the encounter. A lot of drivers talk themselves into problems because they think silence looks suspicious, but talking too much creates inconsistencies. Tiny inconsistencies become reports. Reports become probable cause arguments. The roadside is not the place to debate your innocence. The third mistake is sinking your entire life into your car without understanding the risks. Think about what happens every time you connect your phone. Contacts sync, messages may sync, call logs sync, navigation history syncs, voice assistants record commands, apps collect usage data. Now imagine police lawfully seize a vehicle after an arrest or investigation. Digital forensics tools today can sometimes extract huge amounts of information from infotainment systems, depending on the vehicle and circumstances. That is why privacy experts constantly warn people to review vehicle privacy settings and connected app permissions. Now, let's be clear here. Laws vary heavily depending on jurisdiction, the specific technology involved, whether a warrant exists, and what expectation of privacy courts recognize in a particular situation. Some courts treat certain vehicle data differently than cell phone data. Some protections are still evolving because the technology is moving faster than legislation. So this video is educational, not personal legal advice. But there's another issue people are not paying attention to: remote vehicle control technology. Some modern vehicles already allow remote unlocking, remote shutdown features, speed limitations, geofencing, and advanced monitoring requirements in future vehicle safety regulations. Now, that doesn't mean police can casually hijack random cars whenever they want. A lot of online claims exaggerate this issue. But it does mean connected vehicles create new legal and privacy questions that simply didn't exist 20 years ago. And during a police encounter, you should assume your vehicle may contain far more digital evidence than most people realize. Now, here's another trap: arguing on the roadside. An officer says, "Why are you refusing if you have nothing to hide?" That question pressures people emotionally, but your rights do not disappear because an officer dislikes your answer. The safest response is calm and simple. "Officer, I am complying with lawful orders, but I do not consent to searches." That wording matters because "I am complying" lowers tension, but "I do not consent" preserves your legal position. Never confuse refusing consent with resisting. Those are completely different things. If the officer orders you out of the vehicle, do not physically resist. Courts have generally given officers broad authority during traffic stops to control the scene for safety reasons. So comply physically, protect yourself verbally, stay calm emotionally. Another dangerous mistake is sudden movements towards the dashboard, center console, or phone during these encounters. Remember, modern officers are trained to watch hands constantly. So if you need to reach for documents, say it first. "My registration is in the glove compartment. I'm going to reach for it slowly." Simple communication reduces unnecessary escalation. And here's another thing people overlook. Many drivers unknowingly agree to massive data collection the day they activate their car's connected services. Almost nobody reads the privacy agreements. Some manufacturers allow opt-outs for certain types of data sharing. Others limit what can be disabled. That means one of the smartest things you can do is actually review your vehicle privacy settings, connected apps, and data sharing permissions before you ever get stopped by police. Because once the data exists, legal processes may allow access to it under certain conditions. Now, let's talk about the most important question in any encounter. Am I free to go, or am I detained? That question forces legal clarity. If you're free to go, leave calmly. If you're detained, stop talking and request a lawyer if necessary. I exercise my right to remain silent. I want to speak to a lawyer. Again, notice the structure: clear, calm, direct. No arguing, no speeches, no roadside courtroom performance. Because too many people lose control emotionally trying to win the interaction in real time. That is not how you protect yourself. You protect yourself by staying calm, complying with lawful commands, refusing consent when appropriate, avoiding unnecessary statements, and understanding that your modern vehicle may contain far more personal information than most people realize. And remember, laws involving vehicle data, connected technology, digital privacy, and law enforcement access are still evolving rapidly. Different states may apply different standards. Federal and state laws may overlap. Courts continue to debate many of these issues right now. So the safest framework is simple. Stay calm, keep your hands visible, do not argue, do not volunteer extra information, do not consent to searches you don't want to authorize, ask if you are free to leave, and request a lawyer if the situation escalates. Because in 2026, your car is no longer just transportation. It may also be one of the biggest sources of personal data in your entire life. And in the next video, I'm going to break down the hidden ways police use cell phone extraction tools during ordinary traffic stops, including the exact mistake that causes people to hand over their entire phone without realizing it.